Section 6, Universal Windows Platform, XAML, and C#. Create a UWP application. What are we going to do in this video? We're going to create a new UWP application called Bold New World, and we will explore some of the file structures used in UWP. We're also going to look at the different options in the toolbox. Let's open Visual Studios. So we go ahead and open Visual Studios 2019, and we're going to create a new project. And then under here, let's just say we were here on the ASP.NET Core Web Applications. Come in here and just start to type the word universal. So if we type in the word universal, notice I've typed it before, it brings me up all of the options. Now we want this one. It says blank application universal Windows platform right here. And it is using C#. We'll be using C# code in this demonstration. So let's just click on that. It asked me for my project name. And if you remember correctly, I said we were going to call this project Brave New World. And remember, you can't have any spaces in the name of your project. I'm going to go ahead and say create down here. It's going to ask me what I want to target this for. And we're just going to leave that exactly like this for the moment, the default other options. And if you were going to create this for a different platform, this would be the time that you would go ahead and click that now. So we're just going to leave that and click OK. And so now Visual Studios will begin to build that, basically giving us a standard template for our project. I'm going to close this tab. This tab doesn't mean anything. And if we were to look over here on the far side in our file structure, and I'm just going to open this up a little bit. It says Brave New World. Here's our solution. And then here's our actual project. Notice it says Universal Windows as the behind here. Then down here are several file folders. In one of these it says Properties, and you can see there's some code in there. We're not going to mess with that right now. References. Here's the different references. Notice it is referencing the Microsoft.NET Core Universal Windows Platform, and also XAML as the markup language for us to use. Okay, so then here are some assets that they've put in here, and these are just some pictures that are some basic come in the template itself. So if we come down here and we look under App XAML, we see there's only one thing under here right now, and that says appxaml.cs. And then here is main page XAML, and then also package. We're going to click on this main page right now. Just double click that and open that up. And notice that opens up here for this designer page right here. Let me turn that off. Okay. It was connected for grids. And notice in the corner here, it says 13.5 Surface Book. So that is showing what Windows platform this particular project is aimed at. If we were to down-click this, we can see there's lots of other choices. Maybe we're actually making this for a phone. And so there's a 6-inch phone screen. There's a 5-inch phone screen. Quite a few different options. There's a Xbox. There's Surface Hub. And notice Internet of Things, HoloLens. Basically, it gives us a lot of different options for what we could target this project for. Let's just leave it what it is for right now. We're not going to change that. And so the representation of what we have here is used as a palette, as a drag and drop, just like we did when we did our desktop application in section 4. This is the whole size of the screen and everything. Let's just for the moment, over here is our toolbox. Let's look at that just for a second. Let me grab this and slide this back over. We don't need to have that big. And let's just open the toolbox here for a minute. And you can see all of the different tools that we have here available: pointer, borders, buttons, check boxes, combo boxes, date pickers, all different kinds of tools that we could pull from here and drop into our palette. Okay? Now, if we were going to be purists, then we would want to probably write this code ourselves and do it that way. Another interesting thing here, and I'm going to just pull this up. Here is our document outline. You can see right now there's not a whole lot in it. It says grid is on there. Inside of here, we can add that. We can take that off, whatever we want to do with that. But for right now, we just know that this is our palette. If we wanted to see the code that was behind our palette, right now, as we would say, there's not a whole lot on there. If, for example, if I was to grab this rectangle and drop it in there, and then I change the size of it a little bit, all of the things that affect that rectangle would be down here into the properties window. And so I can come in here and I can change things about my rectangle in here. For example, it says fill, and right now it says no brush. Let's just tell that it's going to be solid. And you can see now it's made it solid and added a color to it, and the default color was black. And so that's what it has put in here. I can name this rectangle. I could say my rectangle, so that when I'm looking here on my page, then I would know where it is and what it is. And I can change the color. I can come in here and I can pick different colors that I would like it to be, and I can alter that. Let's make it blue. There we go. And so now it's blue, but I could also go back in there and use any of the color palette that I wanted to change that color. And I can change the size and all that kind of stuff also. So just real quick look at dragging something from here. So if I wanted to look at the code that was behind this, I can come right down here. Notice there's a tab that says Design, and then there's a tab here that says XAML, okay? XAML, XAML. And I can double click that and open this up, and I can look in here and notice it says, hey, class, Brave New World, main, and this is XAML code. And if you remember right, when we did our desktop application, we found that we could use the @ symbol and add C# code directly onto our page. And you could do that also because this is XAML code. And so down here, notice it says grid. And so this looks more like the XML that we're used to, the markup language. And it says rectangle X, the name equals my rectangle. Remember when I changed the name so that it would be easier to find, I changed its name in here. And then it tells horizontal alignment, left to right. It shows where it's at on the page. So you can move it around or change it by coming in here and changing this information. You could change the width in here, could make it bigger or smaller. And here's the fill color. Notice as I click on it over here, it takes me to where it was in my properties window. So that just kind of shows you a little bit of that code that lies behind some of the things that we're working on. You know, make sure that you go ahead and let's hit the save on this project, and let's say build solution. And so it will run through and do the build on this. And it looks like it says it was fine. And so if we come up here and click on local machine, it should run it for us. My AVG wants to check it out first to make sure it's okay. Notice here it is, and down here is my rectangle. Okay. All right. So now that we've done that, let's make sure we've saved this. And you saved it, and there we go. Okay.